That's okay.
We got it.
We got the money, honey, if you got the time.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Sometimes I got the money.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Horror Hangout live stream. And today we are talking all about Scream 7, all the spoilers we can throw at you. So we are spoiling everything about Scream 7. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let me just introduce the usual suspects. We got Jen is all screams for Scream 7. We got Trivial Theater.
Wahoo!
Trip 7.
Woohoo!
Sound like a robot.
Yeah.
And we got the Horror Miser Monty G in the house.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
And our very special guest this month, Danny Knightmare from Horror Addicts channel. Recently we had the lovely Gory B movie a couple months ago. That was great. So glad to have Danny now, make the circle complete.
Oh, yeah.
Collected them all.
Thanks for having me.
So most welcome. So I did have a few things I wanted to ask you guys. We'll try to keep it like an open discussion, but I did have a few points I wanted to note. Like the first thing I wanted to say was I'm curious if you guys had seen like the reviews and the Rotten Tomato scores and everything, like before you saw the movie, because like an idiot I did. You know, it's so hard to stay away from social media when you go to see these. Even though I went to see it on the night it came out, but I happened to catch the Rotten Tomatoes score, and I was a little bit worried. What about you guys?
I went into it as blind as possible. I heard there was some leaks going around, so I was just trying to avoid them. Gory and Night Watch Zone had a spoiler, not a spoiler, but a prediction video, but they were like, keep our chat. If anybody tries to post spoilers, just delete it right away and boot them out. And I'm like, thankfully it didn't happen, but yeah, I went into it as blind as possible. I didn't want to know what other people wanted to, like, thought about it. So.
Not surprised.
I try to like not even watch trailers that much nowadays. Like if I'll see one obviously at a theater, or if I'm like really excited, I will check out the first trailer, and then I try not to rewatch it though. Just like, you know.
Yeah.
Too many spoilers and that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know.
For me,
Yeah,
I had heard some stuff, but like I did, and I was actively not trying to find it. But like you follow horror people and you see thumbnails, and like I never watch anyone till I do mine. But you see thumbnails and you're like, oh, jeez.
Exactly.
I know, because that was, I was trying my best to avoid, because I never actually take a look at Rotten Tomatoes scores anyway,
Yeah.
or IMDb. And I would try to avoid people's thumbnails. I only saw a couple of thumbnails because unfortunately it's so hard to avoid it. But I'm like you, Jen. I wait until I put my review up before I watch everyone else's.
Same.
But I always tried to make sure that I wasn't trying to avoid any type of readings or rankings or anything like that, especially when it came to Scream 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend that went on a rant because they got an early screener of it, and they were trying not to, but they're just like, oh my god, and then this and then that, and it's like, well, okay, I guess I'll mark that off. But I didn't say anything beforehand as far as like, hey, let's keep this rant as spoiler free as possible. You can tell me there's a guy or somebody dressed up in a white mask that is long and extended and goes by Ghostface, and maybe he uses a knife. He might pull out a gun. Hell, maybe he's got a rubber chicken. We're not sure.
As long as Roger Jackson is always Ghostface,
like
that's all that matters to me.
Agreed.
They should like do like so in case he passed away or something, they should just have him record like every word in the dictionary or something.
Right? I mean, he's got enough probably recorded where they could AI him, but it's just that's who's Ghostface to me is important. Like the rest can be good or bad, like who's unmasked to be him, but as long as Roger Jackson's doing his thing on the phone, at least I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
In fact, that's actually how I want
True.
the trailer for the next video.
Very
I don't
true.
want there to be like anything like that spoils what's going on in the trailer. I just want Sydney to get a call. She's on the phone with Ghostface. They talk a little bit, maybe show some clips from past movies, just get it hyped, and then she sneaks up on Ghostface and unmasks him. It really is Roger Jackson. He's like, "What'd you expect?"
You know, that's something they would have done back in the 90s, and it would have been awesome.
I'd be hyped. I wouldn't need more than that.
But that would require creativity in a
I like
trailer,
that.
and they don't do that very well.
No, I don't do
So
that
it's
anymore.
complete.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with this movie is basically the trailer was the entire cold open. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much everything was in the
Oh
trailer.
yeah,
was
they
actually
definitely ruined the opening. Yeah.
yeah, like it's a great opening, great cold opening, but I did not need to know that she was gonna fall on Ghostface's knife. Like, why did you show me that in the trailer? Like,
Mm.
Well,
Too
they're trying
much.
to plan. They're trying to plan for the porn parody.
right there you go.
Yeah, I
Spread
think so.
eagle.
Yeah.
A scary movie. The new one doesn't beat him to it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know. Yes.
Yeah, no.
Right.
Jen, you didn't see the trailer for the scary movie, the latest scary movie yet?
I have. I've seen it, and I'm looking forward to it. I always have hope, with those. And it looks cute. It looks cute. It looks like it could be fun.
Mm.
Yeah. Probably the most excited I've been for scary movies since Scary Movie 2. I think this is
Yeah,
probably
I
the
would
most
say
excited
so
I've been.
because when it comes to scary movies, the first two were funny. The third one, the series is coming to an end, and it did. I mean, you want to talk about an end?
Like, I was pretty excited when they were like, "Oh, Leslie Nielsen and Charlie Sheen are going to be in there." I'm like, that's cool. Those guys are great at parody things, but I
Mhm.
felt like they weren't really parodying like horror so much anymore. It was just pop culture, like Tom
Yeah.
Cruise jumping on Oprah's couch and Britney Spears shaving her head and stuff like that. It's just like, okay, like I wanted
Yeah.
to focus more on the horror. So,
You know, it's
first two,
like,
I think,
why,
it's pretty good.
why are we spoofing? It's like you're
Scary.
supposed to be spoofing hard.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to be
Yeah.
doing.
I just
But
The
Maybe that's
horror
what
is a vast genre,
You know,
Right.
but that's what happens when you get rid of the Wayans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I can say is that Leslie
Yeah.
Nielsen's naked patootie scarred me for life.
Yeah. Everybody was shot with a naked gun or whatever it was. One naked gun.
In a good way or bad way, Triv? In a good way or bad way?
No, I don't need I respect the hell out of Leslie Nielsen, but I did not need that very pale patootie looking me in the face.
Like, it would have been even funnier, I guess, if they
Okay.
just body doubled him with
Fair.
a nice patootie.
Oh my god, that would have been
Where you know it's
fantastic.
not his, but that's part of the joke, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Now that would have been funny. Like a super
that would have been
tan,
funny.
super like muscular, just yeah. Give me that cut badonkadonk right there.
Right?
I like what they're doing with the subway scene there with Megan and stuff, and
Yeah. And when Megan gets kind of unmasked, that reminded me of the new Naked Gun. What's his name? Picks out the masky little schoolgirl at the beginning.
Oh yeah, Leslie Nielsen. Not Leslie Nielsen.
Liam
Liam
Neeson.
Liam
Neeson.
Neeson.
Son of
Yeah.
Leslie
Yeah,
Nielsen.
the other guy with the
Yeah. It was
Right.
also, like, when I first heard he was doing it, I'm like, that might work, and then it really did. So
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
They had
he's
some
only
good
kind of
stuff
given
going with
some
that.
shades of comedy, like within the Ted movies, but I was like, he probably can be funny. Let's give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
It was. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's played
just
other
because
things
he's so
besides that.
serious, like
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you look at a lot of his early stuff and it did tend to go a little bit more, not necessarily like drop dead comedy, but it did have some of that stuff. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the same thing with Leslie Nielsen. Like you go way back, he was doing like more serious stuff, and then all of a sudden became Mr. Funny Man. So
yeah, Forbidden Planet, or no, Forbidden Planet, and Poseidon Adventure, and
yeah, and like even Creepshow. Like I remember seeing him in Creepshow. I'm like, that wasn't funny. I loved it. It wasn't funny.
his hair wasn't. Oh, I guess it was white there. So
yeah, that's. So I was like, holy crap! Yeah, we all seen this in here. I remember him like from Repossession.
Even
Like,
Prom
that was
Night.
a great comedy. Yes.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, love Repossession. Linda Blair, that was a cool casting choice as well with that movie. I loved it. I loved that as a kid. I always thought it was funnier than a lot of people give it credit for.
Oh yeah, I thought so too. So Scream 7, guys.
All right, guys.
yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, yeah. So what did you guys like about Scream 7?
Me, almost all of it until about the killer reveals, but I guess we'll get to that in a little bit. I did love the cold open. I just wish it wouldn't have been ruined for
Yeah,
me
we
so
will
much.
get to that.
But I thought it was a great way to start the movie. I like the casting in it. I thought everybody did a good job. They brought in like Anna Camp, who I like more than usually, but I thought it was cool that she was going to be in it. I was happy that she was going to be in it. McKenna Grace was great. I knew she was going to be in it, so I was pretty cool with all of it. Isabel May playing Tatum, I really liked that. I'm like, the one thing a lot of people, you can say what you want about Scream 5, it finally kind of got the ball rolling to acknowledging how messed up is Tatum's being dead, and nobody seemed to really care. Like, it didn't do a lot with Scream 5, but at least it mentioned it, and like they've kind of talked more about it since. Like, that was Dewey's little sister, and that was Sydney's best friend, and no one really kind of mentioned her. Like, Randy kind of got his flowers, but Tatum never did for whatever reason. I have theories. The Weinsteins were kind of in charge, and she obviously had a horrible experience with one of them, and that's probably one of the reasons why they didn't bring her up much, but I don't know. Could just be coincidence. Yeah, I love the cast, and I enjoyed most of this movie up until the very end. But
that's fair. It was a solid cast. There's no doubt. Like there wasn't any, there wasn't any slouches in the terms of acting. There were a couple of really unique kills. Like as joking before we got on stream that of all the things that I had on my Scream 7 bingo card, I didn't expect it to go into craft beer. Pretty appreciated. That's the only line I got. Cool. So I'm getting it out of the way early.
I think Jen is itching to talk.
We're talking about good things. We're talking about good things.
Well, see, that's the thing, guys. Okay, so like all of you guys, I don't know if you know Danny, but like everyone else here knows that I'm not the biggest Scream fan. Don't hate it, but it's not one of my beloved franchises, right, guys? So with 6, I was having a lot of fun till that damn ending, and I thought there's no way they're gonna screw it up. And don't worry, I'm not gonna talk about this ending yet, but there's parallels, people. And so like when I was watching this movie, I was having a blast. I fucking loved the opening. I thought our opening was fucking cool. And when I heard the girl, falling, from the chandelier, I thought of Wile E. Coyote, and I heard that little sound they make and going on the knife, and I was having fun. And then Gail shows up and runs over Ghostface's head, and I'm like, yes, I like this, I really do. And then hi, Chad and Mindy, woohoo, we got that. I was having a blast. I thought the kills were cool. I liked the mother-daughter dynamic. I thought, the tension there. I liked the nod to Scream, the first Scream with the boyfriend climbing up the window. I was like, this is cool. I like what we're doing here. And then we started going into problems. It was when she needed to go to her daughter to the coffee shop. That's when I'm like, why didn't she just get in the fucking car? That's when the movie started. But up until then, I was having a lot of fun.
When Gail hits that first ghost face, she should have came out to the song in her car should have been "Move, bitch, get out the way."
But it was cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
Yes,
even the
it
biggest
was.
Scream fan. I was like, oh my God, Gail! Yeah.
Yeah, should have came out. Well, yeah, that would have been funny. Yeah. For me, I like I said, I enjoy Scream for what it is. It obviously revitalized the slasher genre when it first came out in '96, as I said in my review. It was nice seeing Neve Campbell getting the respect that she served. I thought obviously she did a great job. I like the contrast that she plays in this film as opposed to what she's done in the other 4 films, the 5 films that she's been in. I thought her and Isabel May had great chemistry together. I liked the 2 of them. I was nice seeing Mason Gooding and Jasmine Samoy Brown back together. I thought they were fine in the film. The kills were pretty decent. They're probably the best I've seen since 4, especially on the gory side since 4. And we'll talk about the reveal.
Yeah.
Which one?
we'll talk about the review.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I think that first one.
I have things to say about the review, but we'll wait till we get to that point.
Carl doesn't really count. I mean, that was he was fodder for Gail. It was great. We knew there was going to be more. It was way too early in the movie to just be like, "Oh, Ghostface is dead. Let's all go home." Like, we knew there was more to the mystery, and I think we were all so excited to care that they killed Carl real quick. Like, sorry, Carl, we hardly knew ye. That review was fine. Like I said, we expected, just fodder. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We were still excited for the real reveal, and that's
Until we weren't.
like some cool kills, some definitely violence. Like Gory has always been the more hardcore Scream fan out of the 2 of us. I love Scream. I think it's great, and one thing I really love about the franchise is even when one isn't amazing, it's not completely horrible. Like, it doesn't fall that far off the rails. It never jumps the shark as a franchise. Like, there's not they did that in Stab. Like, Stab went to time travel and space and all that stuff too. But Scream is consistently what it is. So if you really like it, you're usually happy. If you're not super into it, it's still not gonna be too bizarre or crazy for you. Like, okay, well, it's still a whodunit with stabbing. So I'm a big fan of it. I was more of a fan of the 80s slashers, I guess. I really liked Scream a lot when it came out, and I was really happy that I didn't have to keep explaining to people why Wes Craven was cool. So a lot of people started kind of getting on board with that. So that was happy. I just launched a whole wave of 90s slashers that just weren't quite my bag, but whatever.
Yeah, that was the hard part, was trying to convince people. It's like, wait a minute, you're not a fan of how you not be a fan of Wes Craven? But it's like he's the man that created Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
made a lot of decent horror films before he actually created Freddy Krueger and The Nightmare on Elm Street. But
Exactly.
it's
There's a lot of cool stuff. Last House on the Left and everything, all kinds of cool stuff that he's done. But
Deadly Friend.
usually I'd have to mention Freddy Krueger just for them to even vaguely know who Wes Craven was. I'm like, he made The Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger? Oh, I know of Freddy Krueger. I know of him. I don't watch those movies though. They're too weird for me. Bad dreams.
I know. Love him.
Hey, Jen, did Delva see Scream 7
It's so frustrating, but people No, they were one of the people boycotting because of what happened with Melissa Barrero. They were not going to watch it since that happened, which is fine.
That's
and
fair.
They weren't one of those people that put spoilers to ruin it for everyone else. They weren't that person, but they just didn't agree with it.
That's fair.
Because I can imagine what they had. I can imagine what they had to say about this one.
Right.
I would have been really interested.
They weren't really had my hope.
From what I hear, so.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a huge Scream fan, so it's fair. It's too. I understand that. I get it. I didn't agree with them sacking her over that. I thought that was stupid. I think they really were looking for a reason, though. I don't think it's exactly for why they did it. They were just trying to, for whatever reason, get her out of her contract. And You never can say never. Sam will probably come back, to be honest. Like, they probably will bring that character back.
I mean, they've brought back everybody else. They even brought back the TV that killed Stu.
Right?
Yeah, he did. And other people. In this one in particular.
So, from what we got of Matthew Lillard, what do you guys think of his performance?
Loved it.
I put it this way: it was better. It is better than what he did with Five Nights at Freddy 2.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what he's been this whole time. He got an amnesia, and then he woke up and decided to get into the pizza business. It didn't work out there, so now he's back to chasing around Sydney.
Yeah, because I definitely thought his performance was better than the Five Nights at Freddy 2. I like what they did with the character. It kind of fed into the Stu is alive stuff that was going on online. Obviously, our good friend, and fortunately, I wish he was still alive. Steven from Craven Something Scary. He definitely would have loved seeing Stu come back in this particular one. What's up, Corey?
Hey, my wife.
Hello,
Corey.
Yeah, it's really a shame that Steven didn't get to see this while he was alive. If there is any afterlife, then he better have got to enjoy
I'll
it.
say something, guys. I wish they would have went all the way with it, Like, I know that, it would be too obvious because of all the fans online that were begging and pleading to bring back Stu. But since they had him in the movie, why not just go all the damn way, make him the killer?
Or
that would have been awesome.
And Scream 8 has, I think,
even if it isn't that
really
much of a shock,
it'll
be awesome, right?
Right? Now, here's what they do. Don't advertise him for Scream 8. Don't advertise Matthew Lillard and give us what we were hoping to get in this, because then you can kind of and have it both ways that way. I feel like the ending of this movie, we'll get to it later, can be forgiven if they go through with a good Scream 8 and like build off of this, where his body, like they mentioned, is missing. Blah, blah, blah. All the stuff they said doesn't necessarily have to be completely untrue. They just weren't unrevealing that right now because they have their own mission. Like, if there is a cult of Stu going on, it'd be kind of cool. Just because Sydney and Gail don't know about it doesn't mean it's still not happening. So if they do that, just don't advertise them. Like, I didn't know what's her name, Aunt Jackie was going to be coming back for this movie.
Laurie
The Killer from Part 2.
Yeah,
like,
Laurie Metcalf.
That's kind of a secret. That was a nice little she's in this. So if now that you've advertised and you've planted seeds, because that was the one thing. I guess if we would have got Stu this movie, it would have been like a little less unearned and more just pandering a little bit. But I mean, I still want more build, maybe even something to really give us a breadcrumb at the end of the trailer, or not the trailer, but the credits. That would have been good, like just to keep us guessing. But I don't know, I feel like maybe even if Sam comes back, maybe they're trying to save that for her interaction with Stu, because Stu, as Matthew Lillard points, he was in love with Billy. So Stu loved him. He seemed like he generally hated women, but he loved Billy. So it'd be kind of a weird interaction to meet Billy's daughter for Stu.
Yeah, because my last woman in horror, Janine from Grey Horror, she actually had a great way to actually make Stu be the killer. But then when I asked her the question if she had a horror film, she actually had a very in-depth and very plausible way to make Stu the killer. Because for me, when it comes to Stu and his character, it would have to make sense, because for me, Stu's character, he's a follower. He's not a planner. He's not really a follower. He's not a planner. And you really would have to try to do something that would make sense for his character. Having him come out and say he actually loved Billy, and then he meets Sam. And we'll call Stu. Yeah, thanks, Corey. That makes sense, more sense, character-wise. Because that's why I told Stephen. I said it's like this. I understand you love Stu, but him being the killer, you have to make it make sense, because it has to fit the type of character he was. Because he's not a long-term planner. as much as Roman did in his role as a killer, he planned it, but he did it with Billy. He didn't do it with Stu. Billy just grabbed Stu along. So in order to make that make sense, you have to make Stu something a little bit more than something where it actually makes sense for his character.
I do think that Stu is not a planner, and that's why he let Billy kind of drive. But I do think he's a manipulator. I do think he is a devil on your shoulder type character. I think he taught like Billy almost into making more of it, because Stu knows the rules. Him and Randy argue and fight about it too. Billy knows the rules too of all the horror movies. I think Stu is like, we could also kill my ex-girlfriend. We could also do this. Like, I think he just wants to make it a little more elaborate instead of Billy because Billy just wanted revenge, right? So why kill Drew Barrymore? Why kill all that stuff? Like, I think Stu's just a little more like, he knows he can't like maybe plan it out and even physically act it all out, especially by himself. But I do think he is kind of a persuader of things. Like he probably knows that Billy knows how to drive better than him, but he tells Billy like, just hints of where to go.
Well, and that's a lot of what Matthew Lillard plays too. Like a lot of his characters kind of follow in that particular footstep. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, Scream 3 that we never got, he was going to be masterminding a bunch of teenagers to do his killings from inside prison. They actually had to buy him out of his contract because it was so close to making that movie that way. But then Columbine happened, and they're like, oh, we don't really want a bunch of teenagers killing people. So they scrapped it, but they had to still pay him. And we got the Scream 3 that we got, which, I like, but might always be my least favorite. It's still good. Those bangs aren't. Sorry, Courtney Combs. But hey, Jay and Silent Bob were in it.
The bangs are not.
Thank you, Gory, by the way. Thank you.
Yes. She's the best.
All right, guys. So I have to ask, what is your favorite kill in Scream 7?
The one that caught me off the guard the most too, and just because I wasn't 100% sure he was going to get killed this way, if at all. The creepy kid who is Anna Camp's son getting his head put on the beer tap. Because I really didn't. When he came out of that other room, I thought he was faking his injury. I thought it was a mom and son thing working together here, and I was hoping, like, I wasn't like necessarily going to bet money on it, but I was hoping that they were Stu's sister and nephew, and that would have given a lot of gravitas to their motives. Like, because I know Stu has a sister, so if she was really his sister and that was his nephew, and like when he came out faking like his injury, I thought, okay, yeah, I didn't see him get hurt back there. It's probably fake. But then he just got killed on the beer tap. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so I have to give it up. That was a really gruesome kill, and I really didn't call it.
What?
It seems to be everybody's favorite.
Oh yeah. Well, it's something unique. It's kind of like the corncob kill from Sleepwalkers. It's just something outside the box. It's not like getting shish kebabbed, with a knife. It's using different weapons, but not like traditional weapons.
Or getting shish kebab in the mouth, like in Happy Birthday to Me.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things about the Friday the 13th killing the video game is like when you're Jason, you can use almost anything around you to kill the campers. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a very intense kill, very inventive. It kind of reminded me of the
Dory.
It actually kind of reminded me of the kill in the original Valentine's Day, My Bloody Valentine, when the miner stuck the woman inside of the faucet and he said the stuff coming out of her mouth. That's what that reminded me of.
I was even thinking Hard Eyes with the like the wine press, and then the I Do wine or that's specific.
Yeah, wine press. It's up for an Oscar. It's nominated anywhere.
That was a great kill.
Oh, fantastic kill. Hopefully this one will be up for next year. Wink. That way we can keep the alcoholic kills going.
Great to that.
Woohoo! Can't see it, but I got it too.
Popcorn. Making me hungry.
Absolutely. I will also say I really I like the way that they did was it Peter Pan, the play at the open? I think.
Yeah, I thought so because she's playing the dog Dinah, right? I think.
It was something like that, but yeah, that kid was pretty interesting.
It like had a female Peter Pan, and like I think the names were changed.
It could be Tinkerbell. It could have been Tinkerbell too, kind of rolling through the. Whatever it was, or fairy chick. Like the fact that she got caught on the thing, and then the exact same thing happens, and like arm is stuck, leg is stuck, and then she's cut navel to nose, and.
I kind of thought, man, kind of Grace, like, as I was watching the movie, I didn't suspect her, but, like, when I just heard she was in the movie, I'm like, she is a bad seed. Got to keep our eye on her. She has great range, though, because, like, her character from this and The Bad Seed and Ghostbusters are very different characters. So.
Oh, yeah. I have not seen the two Bad Seeds that she's in. Yeah, but from what I understand, she's that character is very different from the Ghostbusters films.
Yeah, and in this, she was just kind of like a mean girl. Look at me, I'm in the play, but still great.
Yeah, very much so.
I think she's gonna have a good career, and I hope she sticks in horror at least in and out of her career. She's very talented.
Well, she had party favors for everybody.
I actually like the.
What do you say, Sean?
I actually like the kill in the beginning, not the one you're probably thinking of, but I like the kill in the beginning when Ghostface just stabs the dude right on the side of the head, and you see it like pretty graphic. It's like, damn.
Yes.
Yeah, that was graphic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. At first, I thought that was part of the whole spiel, just because, like, the way the knife went in, it sort of looked like one of those knives that retracts into the handle.
Mm-hmm. No, the eyes gave it away.
Yeah.
And even Gail shows up, like, she heard about that killing, but she didn't go there. She knew her money was, like, where Sydney was. So that's why she shows up. So that kill was in Woodsboro. I mean, was it actually Stu's real house or just a B&B that made it look like his house? Do you guys know?
I think it was supposed to be his house, wasn't it?
No, it was supposed. Yeah, it was his house. They just turned it into a B&B.
Okay, that's what I thought because it looked
why would
it look exactly the same? But that means that was in Woodsboro. So the killers that we know and got, they went all the way out there to just do that, and then came all the way back. That seems a little weird. I feel like that opening might have actually been Stu. I'm just saying, I'm trying to will it into existence. That makes more sense for him to want to burn down his house like that and be far away from where all the other killings is. And it also makes sense where he's not around and like for the finale of it, because he went out doing that. Plus the whole AI thing, yeah, I get it. Deep fakes and stuff, but he's aged in that thing. Like, not only is he a dead corpse, like kind of with the scar or whatever, but they know exactly what he looked like in age and other things, and you could get an AI to guess. But most of these people wouldn't know what Stu really looks like, because in the Stab movies, it's not played by Matthew Lillard. So it's kind of weird that they have such a great detail of his AI to make him look like this available. Just makes me think he might still really be alive.
He actually burned down the house for insurance money.
Yeah, exactly. He might have even got a yes. They might have got what's her name to buy his house in part 5. I mean, who knows how long this has been going on. I think he lets them plan out all the killings and all that stuff, because like you said, he's not much of a planner when it comes to that stuff. But I think he's manipulating the ball to keep rolling. That's my goal here on this, like that he's just the devil in their ear. It also makes sense where, like, okay, they kind of gave you an example of how Anna Camp is willing to kill her kid, I guess, but it was pretty weak. I think if you were in a cult, you would be much more likely to kill your child, sacrifice your kid, than just, oh, you met a guy. I mean, I'm not saying that couldn't happen. It's a little weak. Where, I don't know, if she was really deep in this group of the cult of Stu, her son dying is just okay. I mean, yeah, we had someone kill their mom in part 4 for not the best reasons, but that's one of the things that has always kind of irked me about that. I'm not saying she wouldn't do it. She was clearly a sociopath that didn't care, but it just seemed extreme. Like, okay.
Yeah, it'll be just like that TV show that Kevin Bacon was in called The Following.
Right. So.
Following. It was a cult of killers. Cult of killers
right.
that they sacrifice another person just to keep the killings going.
Yeah.
And the kid just failed to do the dishes and stuff, and it got to that point where she's like, "One more time, kid, and I'm gonna kill you," and she took it seriously.
Or I mean, Ethan Embry might
been there,
been the one who actually did that. And as far as we know, her character might not even know that happened. So it's possible. So Ethan Embry, like, what do you guys think about him?
That being said, might
as well talk about the reveals. Ethan Embry, I was excited. He's in so many horror movies.
Let's get into it.
I figured Ethan Embry was like either going to be what ended up being Carl, or he would be a pretty big reveal, which he was. I mean, he's just Ethan Embry. He's been in too many horror movies. He's a big enough name where I'm like, he's probably a Ghostface. Maybe he's not the main Ghostface, and I probably kind of would have preferred it if he wasn't, just based on motivations that I'm getting. But
yeah, we'll say the overall. We lost Jen. The overall, like the motivations for the characters, like, and we'll get a little bit more into it, but his especially, like, I don't know. I don't think that they were, not that they have to be strong because it's a horror movie, but I don't know. I don't know. They could have. I know that they had to go back and rewrite a bunch of stuff with this version, and they probably were on a tight schedule with it, but they didn't quite do what needed to be done.
No, like it felt like the air left the room, or like it's like, oh, okay, there's more, right? Not really.
It's actually her entire friend group, but they all killed each other, not knowing that they were all in on it, and
sounds like bodies.
Now, see, that's what I want with Sam's character if it comes back. I want her to be a Ghostface that kills other Ghostfaces.
Oh, like, that'd be fantastic.
Ghostface always worked together in groups, right? So if they see her, they'd like kind of like maybe make some motions like follow me or you go that way or whatever. But then, no, why are you stabbing me, Ghostface? We're Ghostface together. Why are you killing me?
You know what? Tournament of Ghostface. It could be like March Madness, but like, I don't know. It could be the Scream sequel.
I'm gonna have to have a live stream and have you on for that. We'll just discuss the killers and a little death battle tournament.
Hey, they're with bells. Reincarnate the zombies of every other Ghostface that's been there in the past, and like just do a Dragula where you bring them back from the dead and go to town.
Ghostface. That's what we'll do. Scream 9. Ghostface goes to hell. All the Ghostface in hell, and like Satan will reward the winner. They can come back.
Yeah, it really bugs me that for a franchise as good as Scream has become, that the last 3 Ghostface motivations have been very weak, predictable, and terrible. And this one right here is the worst of the bunch.
I agree.
It's like y'all can't come up with anything better than what y'all did with this one right here. It's like was no surprise whatsoever. Anna Camp was so predictable. The minute that she comes on the screen, bam, you knew it was her.
She's like, like I said, I knew it was her, and I was wrong about her not being on her team. That's the only thing I was wrong about. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. I thought
not until I get my Scream time travel. What, you want time travel and not space, Corey?
I mean, time and space if you're going the Doctor Who route, I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah, no, yeah.
See what I did there with the relative?
It's like this, Five. Okay, you want to reinvent the stab in universe. You think it's going crazy because they went to space and they had time travel. So you're trying to okay, that's okay. Six was just more revenge. Didn't we get that with two? Two and three was revenge. And then you come up with this cockamamie crap that Anna Camp's character come up because she was inspired by Sydney, and then Sydney disappears, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm going to kill my son, and she goes on and on for like a good 10 minute soliloquy about why she had to, because she wanted to bring Stu back, or
She
someone
didn't
to
show up
reinvent.
in New York.
Yeah.
And she did. I mean, and the amount of times they kept pushing the box. Sydney, you weren't in New York. Yeah, we know. No, she wasn't in Scream 6. It was decent the first two times you guys mentioned it. There's no need to mention it anymore, and there's no need for her to mention it in her motivation.
Yeah, at that point I was done hearing about it. Like, I got like it was extreme, but I got like Jill would kill her like because she heard about her family member who's like this huge survivor and made a big deal of it. I kind of can see Jill's motivation a little more, but now it's just someone who read her book. It's like when the Ninja Turtles rebooted with Michael Bay, and Splinter didn't know martial arts, but he read a book on martial arts. So he decided to teach the turtles martial arts because he read a book. They got flushed down a toilet.
I read a book, so I know martial arts.
Yeah, like it's just lazy. Okay.
How did you guys feel? And I could be in the minority here, but
I liked how they.
Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, I like how they set up once they first got to the house, and they were doing like the AI stuff with Roman and Stu and even David Arquette. I was like, ooh, cool. And then we got what we got, which I thought was like, I couldn't help but think, like I said in my review, when if you ever saw Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, when Wes Craven does his cameo and they pull off the ghost face mask and it's a monkey. And then Shannon Doherty's like, God, you guys aren't even trying anymore. Like, that's what it felt like, literally.
Yeah, it was like, here you go. you sat through this movie. You probably want an ending. Here it is. Just it's right there. Take it or leave it. We don't care. That's how I felt. Like there was just, like I said, I was enjoying the movie for so long and so much. I was pretty hyped, and we were in the VIP room at our theater, and it was pretty crowded, and people were really into it. And it just felt like all the air just got kind of sucked out of the room, and it's kind of like,
Yeah, no, I mean, for me, it was bad enough that I really didn't care anything for Tatum's friends. They were like all one-dimensional characters. The boyfriend was one-dimensional. Yeah, it really didn't care about them. They were all fodder for a Ghostface to kill them, and then you get that, and then they get that. I mean, put it this way: when it comes from me, other than Emma Roberts, I think she had the best motivation when it comes to all the Ghostface killers in this series. She had the best motivation of all. It made sense. It makes sense that she was jealous of Sydney's success, and she wanted to be just like Sydney. So it makes sense for what she did. And of course, I like Charlie's character because he was like a replacement for Randy, and she wound up killing him. But yeah, other than Emma, she had the best motivation, but the last three ones, especially this one, the motivations are just weak, lackluster, and terrible.
Yeah, like it just, like you said, it was the same thing as Emma Roberts, but it was reduced to I read a book. Like,
yeah.
What? Like, yeah, it's like, oh, now I'm jealous of how crazy and cool your life was because something happened to you. So I'm going to put on a mask and kill you because that equals profit. Because
I'm going to reinvent, and you're going to have Sydney 2.0.
Jill, Emma Roberts' character, at least made it very disguised that she was a target too. He was a survivor and a victim. But Anna Camp's character was not a survivor and a victim. I guess maybe her kid dying is the only tragedy she can really build off of this for sympathy, sorrow. Oh no, your kid was killed. But there's no like reason why she'll be famous and popular because of this happening. They never once put herself in danger and tricked anybody that way. So it really didn't add up to anything. And it's just because her and Ethan Embry's character, Marco, just decided why not?
It's like they had a quiet Saturday night and they're like, you guys want to go kill things? Okay, yeah, let's go kill things. So
yeah, I mean, I work in a mental hospital, and a lot of these people I know this guy named Carl, he's killed like women before. Isn't that crazy? Maybe we should kill some people. We'll even get him involved. We'll blame it on Stu. He went here a long time ago. He's missing now or something. I don't know, whatever they said. But
yeah.
If now really though, these are all just pawns, and Stu is the one who really is masterminding all this, like, and but he does let them plan out how to do it, and that's why they fail, because they're idiots. Like, I will be very excited and happy, and I will be more forgiving about this movie if it leads up to a great reveal in 8. But
I can't say and I know that we run across this in Marvel movies, but a movie should not be there just to play setup for the next movie. It needs its own beats. And I'm not dissing. I agree with you that
yes.
there are moments in this that work, and you do have to have that setup. But they put so much. If that is the case, they put so much into the setup that they didn't take the time to work on the movie that was there. Because what if stuff did end at 7? You're left with this. Yeah. Exactly.
They should have had some better breadcrumbs, and if that's their way of going, I think the laziness of it all and not like committing is because the studio will very likely mess it all up. Like they are teed up to have a great movie, and I would be a little more forgiving in this in hindsight. But they know that they're probably idiots, and they're probably going to just make this a one and done, and give us another one and done, and hopefully he'll at least have better motivations. But like they won't commit.
They tried to do that with 5 and 6 too. That was the whole setup for that trilogy was those two, and yeah, look at where that went.
Exactly. So like 7, if this was an ending to that trilogy, it could have made that whole trilogy really good, and I would have been a little more forgiving of certain things, but they messed it up. So I'm most likely going to not be forgiving about this in the future. Studios tend to mess things up.
Is anyone hiding behind your theater there, Trip? That's not Dan, is it? It's not Dan, is it?
I don't think so. I can't really turn.
Sorry, she can't turn her head, Corey.
I can't get the popcorn either. Dagnabbit. To my knowledge, the last time I checked, no, we're good, I think. But if you see anything, keep it to yourself so I can be made into craft beer the same way that the creepy kid was.
If zombie Bill Murray shows up behind you, don't shoot right away, okay? It could just be a joke.
Well, my hands don't really work very well, so even though I keep a gun under the seat, I really can't grab it very easily. But
he's a prankster. He might not really be a zombie, so don't blast him away just right away.
Oh, Corey, there is a disembodied body part in the popcorn, but I can't tell you what the body part is.
No, it's not mine. I could see.
I was going to ask earlier, and I feel like I'm probably in the minority on this because she is an important part of the Scream series. But I didn't feel like they implemented Gail very well into this. Like she's in a little bit, and then she disappears. And even the twins, it's like it just like they tried to give them something, and it just didn't really do anything or go anywhere. Like even their stabbings were like, oh wow, really? Oh. You were made into a shish kebab last time. You survived like 5 kinds of death. How are you still here?
Right. Like I rolled my eyes when they were in danger in this movie. I was like, sure, they're so gonna die. I'm so worried. Like at this point, like it would be so lackluster and dumb to kill them. Like I actually kind of liked that she wanted to kind of become the next Gale Weathers and move into that instead of just trying to be the next Randy, because that wasn't quite working. But Mindy, so I liked that, and they were kind of doing her little henchman stuff, but I was never afraid for their lives, and when they did both get stabbed, I was just like, okay, like moving on.
They got stabbed again. There goes
Yeah.
that plot armor.
Right.
And even Gail's like nerve damage, you kind of look at it and go, like, it's supposed to be a moment where you feel bad for her, but they don't give you enough. And she is an important character. She is worthy of sympathy. But in this one, it was such a, like, oh man, my nerve damage. I guess I'll pop a pill. Like that whole bit, it wasn't an earned moment for
No,
this.
because they
movie.
never even. We see she's got a handshake and she's popping pills, but the movie, unfortunately, they never actually. And I don't know why Kevin didn't focus more into that, because I figured that's what they were going to do. Because I figured that's why they had Gail and Sydney together. That Gail was going to tell her the problem she's having since Dewey died, and the fact that she's got nerve damage and she's not well at all. She still hasn't gotten over Dewey's death, but unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why Kevin didn't. Go into that further. And then that's what kind of makes, for me, Courtney Cox's presence in the film kind of a waste. It was nice seeing her. I like how they got her involved. When he ran over, half the people in the audience started clap. They started cheering and clapping when
that was
scene
a cool entrance.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like they did a little better by her this one than they did in the last one, because in 5 she was like, I'm gonna write a book about Dewey, but then in 6 it's like she didn't. She just wrote more about Ghostface and kind of went back to being Gale Weathers, but then not the part about her that we like. So I was like, that was weird, and maybe they should have just killed her then. Though I would like her to be more heroic in her death, like sacrifice herself for someone else. But this one, she was fine. Like, I liked her entrance enough, but there wasn't a whole lot to it. I do like that finally, I guess her and Sydney can now kindly call each other friends instead of just frenemies. And Sydney's like, no, actually, I do trust you. So that moment was nice, I guess. But
all right, all right, Jen, we've been waiting for you.
I like that.
Fan down the hatches.
Cork it off.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jen.
We know you're dying, Jen.
Because I've had this really bad internet. So apologies. For what I had a problem with, like I said, I was really enjoying this film up until we got the reveal. And well, actually before, when she was running to get to the coffee shop, because I thought, and I get it, because we're slashers and sometimes we have to just go with it. But I'm like, most parents would have gotten in the goddamn car. So I was having a little bit of problems with that. But it was when we got the reveal is when I was starting to get angry. And then we get the reasoning. It wasn't the reveal, because we all clocked in. We all knew who the fucking killers were. The one was just basically, she should have gone, hi, I'm the killer. Wasn't surprised about that at all, kids. What I was surprised about is just this stupid the explanation was just so mind-numbingly stupid. And I said it in my review, and I'll say it now. Like, yeah, we're dealing with mental institutions, and you'd think that a crazy person would have written this, but then a crazy person would have looked at this shit and been like, are you fucking crazy? This does not make sense, people. And like, so she reads a book, and Sydney's her golden goddess, and it's like the movie's trying to apologize. We didn't pay you enough, and we're sorry, Sydney, and you're back now. And like, so she disappears, so therefore she has to die, and she has to die in front of her daughter, and her daughter's gonna continue this trauma train. Choo choo, woo woo. What the fuck, people? Jesus Christ, I didn't understand. I still don't
Breathe,
understand.
Jen, breathe.
Chris, please make it make sense. Monkey's here.
Hey, it's a strange monkey.
And it sucked because I was having so much fun, and then that ending the explanation I just couldn't get away from. And I've always given side eye to Stu fans who are like, bring Stu back, and I'm like, okay, guys, calm down here. This movie has turned me to be a Stu fan, and I'm like, let's just let him come back. Let's let him come back. I am hashtag let's let Stu come back. And then we got the AIs of all the others, and that would have been cool, but that fucking explanation just killed that. Like, I would have been happy. Hi, Laurie Metcalf. Woo, I like all these people. But no, couldn't go with it. And it also made you realize that Gail didn't have too much to do in this movie, which is fine. She didn't have that much to do in part 5 either, but, or 6, part 6. See, I can't even number. I'm so angry. But she didn't have much to do in there. But I did like Chad and Mindy. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. But they didn't have much to do. And it just kind of, you saw other little problems after you started thinking about the explanation, like other little problems that I would have been totally cool with. It killed it. And I'm sorry. I went on too long. Sorry, guys.
Oh, man, you went on for half an hour. How could you possibly bring up so many good points? My goodness.
I don't think
no forgiving.
I think they were a rambling mess. But sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. No, Gory makes a good point there. She totally did. If they would have played into that more, like really from the start, and
yeah, that kind of would make more sense if she would have had a session with Sid, not with Sydney.
It would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And also, guys, she killed her own kid, and because her husband was a bastard. I get that, and he reminded her of it. But it's like, what the hell? No, and I didn't even bring that point up. Like, killed her own kid, for God's sake, and that would have been cool. Usually, I'm okay with kid murder, but this way, just the explanation needs to make sense before I'm okay with kid death. Just make it make sense, people. That's all I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying. If it is a cult of Stu, I can see it making a little more sense to me. Also, it would make more sense why they used Stu as the AI, because if Stu's really just dead, then why not AI Billy, who is way more important to Sydney than Stu was to Sydney? Why not AI even Tatum, like her actual friend Tatum? Wouldn't that mess with your head that your dead friend is trying to kill your daughter, Tatum? That would be a lot more of a mind fuck if you brought back either Tatum or Billy plot-wise than Stu, unless Stu is actually alive. That's my only thing. Then it will make sense. But if it's not, then it's just lazy and dumb.
Even bringing up Tatum as
then I'll be like, I'm sorry, I had a breakdown, and I'll apologize to this movie.
It's all good.
Talk about later.
Oh my God.
Jen, Jen, do you think this is the worst motivation out of all this, especially since 5? When you come to 5 and 6, and motivation between 5 and 6, and this one right here.
I was 6. I was really angry with too. As anyone who's seen that review knows, I was really angry. But this was like, just hold my beer because I can top it, and it just didn't make sense. And I had to when I first saw this, I just was like, I thought I was going crazy because I'm not a very smart person, and I'm like, am I missing something here? I can't make the puzzle. I thought it was me, and then I'm like, I looked at other people in the theater, and they had the same incredulous look that I had on my face. So I'm like, oh, good, it's not just me.
Oh no! I had the same look. I had the same look on my face when she went on that little rant. I'm like, okay, this is not making any sense whatsoever.
I drew my eye roll.
Richie and Amber had pretty weak motivation, but for whatever reason, their psychotic ending made me buy it. I was actually, their performance sold me on their shit. And it'd make even more sense if Stu was puppet mastering things. I kind of just kept hoping even since then. Maybe he's the one who really, because if really one of them killed, it had to have been Amber who killed Dewey, but she was, wearing some platforms or something because she was pretty burly. Stu would make more sense if it really turned out Stu killed Dewey. But once again, he could have talked Amber into buying his house. This whole thing could be going back that far at least. But either way, never happens. I don't think they had a great motivation, but I still was able to buy their performances. We're in 7 here. Weak motivations.
You think
the
Scream franchise is just
that's what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. Cool, right? No. Oh, okay. I didn't get sold onto them being crazy enough to do it for that reason. Oh well.
I think it's pretty close with this in part 6 because 6 I thought was really super campy, but I think 6 would have been better if they just left it the cop though. If it was just him, it would have made sense that he could dispatch of these people, and he obviously, and he doesn't give an F about movies and I thought his motivation would have been better and just simple revenge on his son or whatever. But when they brought the other two chumps in there, I thought that was lame.
It is kind of weird, like when you find out one of your kids was a killer, so your motive is like, well, my other two kids, hey guys, why don't we become killers too? And then we can go kill the people who killed your brother and my son. Like, it makes more sense, like you said, as a lone person acting by himself makes sense. Like, I want to kill my son's killers or whatever, and that makes sense. But why bring your other kids into it? Like,
they have to please. They're Midwesterners. They got to please their dad.
I guess. I have a hard time wrapping my head around it, but I'm sure there are people out there that would. So, like,
love me, Daddy, love me. Do you love me now?
I give that one a slight pass because his motivation's great. It's just the siblings. It's like, were they all a family of killers before Richie went off to do this whole ghost face thing? Did they kill other people as a family? Like, it's just weird. Okay.
Well, I think they're probably hoping people will go with the MST3K philosophy of repeat to yourself. It's just a show. You should really just relax. Not that you should relax in this case, because it was pretty dumb, but
they turned out to be like a family from Wrong Turn or something. It was just like, oh, it just felt out of place in a Scream movie. Whatever.
Yeah.
But once again, not those three, the ones that we got. I would like I say that Stu was manipulating Richie, but not his dad and siblings so much, but maybe those two killers in the cold opening of 6 were being manipulated by Stu until that family took them out. So there you go. More Stu manipulation can be added.
Stulipulation?
Yeah. Get on board the stew chew. We're just trying to will this into to existence. We want to take that stew train to the station for Steven. He really wanted it.
And they're going to go back and go, oh, look at all these moments where stuff happened. And it's like, well, not really. But hey, you made it work. It was random enough where you could fill in the blanks. And I don't know.
You like to think that stuff is being planned out, but a lot of times it's just being winging it, and that's what it shows. But
you like to think.
After the Star Wars sequel trilogy, I have lost all faith.
To the trash picture.
So, one thing that a lot of people were saying, I noticed in their reviews, is a lot of people think they should move past Sydney, and me personally, I really liked her in this movie. This was my favorite performance of Neve Campbell in the franchise for me. I liked her dynamic with the daughter. I thought the daughter was really good, and I like how her name is, a nod to Tatum from the first movie, and I like their relationship. I like how Sydney had serious trust issues, because of course she does, because she trusts people and they could end up being a ghost face killer, and then I liked her interaction with Gail, even though, like you said, Gail was underwritten in this movie, but I liked how Gail finally gets to have her big interview on TV with Sydney and all that. But I like how she's trying to kind of move on from everything, with the coffee shop and everything. I really liked the performance. But I have to ask you guys, do we need to move on from Sydney now, or you should kind of wrap it up? Or do you think there's still life left there depending on where they go with it?
I think it was a good passing the torch to her daughter Tatum, if we're gonna pass it to anybody at this point now, or if they bring Sam back, which, like I said, very well possible. I hope the people who wronged Sam apologize and bring her back, and not people who have taken their job trying to make a peace offering on their behalf. But I have a feeling it'll happen at some point. I do agree this was probably the best Sydney movie since 3. 3's not high on my list, but it is a great movie about Sydney. 3 and 1, obviously. 2, it was a little more the same thing of 1. 3, there was a lot, even though it's kind of corny because they had a ghost mom and stuff like that, it still built Sydney as a character very well. And I feel like this is the best thing they've done with Sydney's character since then. We don't necessarily need more, but I will always welcome Sydney Prescott's presence in these movies as long as they don't kill her, as long as they don't pull a Laurie Strode and Halloween Resurrection. Trick or treat, like, and just like kill her off in a cold open or something. I actually like that cold opening. I just think it should have been the end of that movie, and they should have had a good movie before it. But it ended up having a horrible thing. So yeah, I don't. But then again, that didn't keep Laurie Strode from coming back. Even they killed her off like twice in that franchise. So I hope we don't get to the point where like we give somebody else the torch and they do a couple of movies and Sydney's just not ever in them until Sydney's gray-haired and like they're like, no, let's do a sequel to part 3. Like, and just forget the rest of them all happened. Like, just pretend they didn't and bring back Sydney Prescott. I hope they don't ever do that, but we'll see. Speaking of studios like messing up, I loved Halloween 4. That was a good passing the torch, even though it was sad they got her. Daniel Harris was great in that first one. The second one wasn't bad about Daniel Harris. It was okay. Now we have silly cop music, and there's a crazy cliffhanger ending where somebody exploded the prison, and then it took us forever to get 6, and it was just garbage, all of it. I like to think the studios have a plan, but that is proof that they don't. Or they will at least abandon a plan very easily.
Get me going on that.
Yeah, don't get me started about the Thorn trilogy.
How do you guys feel about the Horn?
I like the Thorn trilogy, damn
Horn trilogy.
I said Thorn.
Are
you sure?
So, like I said, they could be building up something good here, but the studio has already showed us they can abandon plans and mess things up and fire people and just ruin things. I want to know though, who's the test audience that saw that Stu was the killer, because they have a version of that. Who is that test audience? Why did they hate Stu being the killer so much? And can I send them flaming dog poop in a bag?
I'd say do that anyway.
Exactly. Just tell me who they are and I'll do that. It might even be my
burn their house down. Burn it all down.
I think someone hacked in. Someone's got Jesus Loves You on here.
There better be a good alternate ending in the Blu-ray release or whatever, because if there really isn't one and that's just bullshit and that's like their way of covering our ass. Oh, we tried to have Stu, nobody liked it. It better be real.
Well, I mean, considering the amount of AI.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, as I stated before, I thought Neve Campbell did a fantastic job. I agree with you, Dan. Yeah, her best performance since the third film. Obviously, I would say 1, 2 was okay. Obviously, 3 was her best performance. 4 was good, but this is her best performance out of all the Scream films. Like I said before, she had great chemistry with Isabel May. She had pretty good chemistry with Joe McHale, even though most people prefer to have McDreamy on here. But the guy's name's still Mark. So,
like I said, Jill went about it the right way. She made it seem like she was the final girl. Like we all kind of like saw that. Like the people around her would see that. Where Anna Camp never. It makes no sense that this is her motive. Jill did that, and that's why it's a great movie. Sydney wasn't the main focus so much. Like I really believe, okay, maybe they are moving on to someone new. And then Sydney at least got a really great ending where it's like, don't fuck with the original bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. But it wasn't so much focused on her. Gail had a lot more to do in that one, too. I just feel like 3, 1, and this are definitely the movies that focus on Sydney and her development as a character anyways.
Yeah, because my main concern has always been when it comes to the Scream franchises, how much more you can do with Sydney, Gail, and Dewey. All 3 characters, so I call the 3 amigos. I said there's going to have to come a time, if you're going to continue this franchise, then you're going to have to do something permanent with these characters. Now, unfortunately, they went on ahead and killed Dewey off, which I actually didn't think. Yeah. I thought you were going to get rid of Gale in the sixth one. But yeah, but I just simply can't. They cannot kill. Let me put it this way: you can't, obviously, with the way the series is going right now, killing off Sidney Prescott would be one of the dumbest decisions a studio would ever make, because we saw that we saw that how much they destroyed the Halloween franchise when they fake killed off Laurie Strode. They had to actually bring her back,
Exactly.
bring her back. But they realized what a big mistake that was. So killing off Sydney will not be the way to go about the end Sydney's story. Her story has to come to an end if you are going to pass the torch to Tatum and not to
No.
Sam, not to Sam. Because like I said, I didn't have a problem with Sam or Sam or her sister. I really have a problem with that. But as you can see, when it comes to the box office, yeah, a lot of people are Sydney fans, but it's not like Miss Melissa O'Barrow or Jana Ortega brings people into the box office. You take a look at Into the Heights or Death of a Unicorn. Those movies didn't make a lot of money. They didn't make a lot of money at all. No matter how good, no matter how good, no matter how good Into the Heights was, it didn't bring in a lot of money. And Melissa Morel, she's not at the stage where she actually puts butts in the seats in her career.
Jenna Ortega's killing it with like making money off of Wednesday merchandise, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Unicorn. It sucks, like, because I really wanted to like that movie. A movie about killer unicorns could have been so cool. Like Supernatural has teased it. A Cabin in the Woods has teased it. Like, I think at one point we had a little toy unicorn that you could impale like little like a mime on it and stuff. It was cool, like the idea. Just it was an okay movie. It was okay. Like, I didn't hate it, but I wanted to like it, and I just like I didn't. It's forgettable, like you said. Like, no. Okay.
Yeah. So so that that's my take on when it comes to Sidney Prescott. Yeah. She deserves a nice, quiet ending and passing the torch on the Tatum. But if they want to bring the Sam character back, they can do that if it's written well. It has to make sense, and it has to be written well. You just can't bring her back just to please the Melissa Barrow fans.
And just don't wait too long to where it doesn't make a lot of sense, because they've built up a lot for her. Like, she was battling with her inner demons, like in the version of her, like, Sydney had Ghost Mom in 3, she has Ghost Dad in her movies. Like, it's not saying there's a real ghost, it's just something that's in her head. And like I said, was she going to be a killer? I love the idea of her being a killer, but killing the other Ghostface. Like, just, I will use my dad's kind of homicidal rage that I've inherited, but I will use it for good. Kind of like a Dexter thing, maybe. But I feel like there is stuff built there, but the iron is not hot the longer you wait. So if you're going to strike it, do it soon. Say you're sorry and bring her back. Throw some money at her.
Ghostface tournament.
I feel like Jenna Ortega does have some star power. I feel like she could carry a movie if they put the focus on her.
Yeah, and like we also have Tatum now, and there's like other character Kirby's awesome. Bring her back for it.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of you could have a bunch of kick-ass chicks killing Ghostface. I'm down for that.
Because I'm a huge Kirby fan.
And just reveal Stu at the end of the movie, because have all these Ghostface out of nowhere, and what the heck? Don't advertise Matthew Lillard at all, but have a bunch of Ghostface. You have a Ghostface who infiltrates them. You have an FBI agent Kirby, and then you also have Tatum, who's just like, fuck this. We're a new generation of women, and we're not gonna just let these guys put on these hoods and kill us. Like them just working together to kill him as a new group involves Sydney and Gail a little bit, just cause at least mention them and whatnot, but let these new girls kick some ass. And then why are all these Ghostface out here being needed to be killed anyways? Just make it like okay, we find out at the end there is a reveal of Stu. There you go. Big twist. But will they do it? I don't have.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
What if they had a ghost face that didn't die at the end? Imagine that was strong and smart and was able to outsmart everybody, and you had to wait till the next movie to get to the end of the story.
That's what 4 was originally, actually. They were going to let Jill live. Like, originally, he had a trilogy planned for 4, 5, and 6. He was going to have Jill live, get away with it, like, wink, wink. Audience only knows I'm not really a final girl. I'm the killer, but they would all treat her like that. However, the next movie, the 5 that was going to happen originally, was there would be someone who would find out that she, killed those people, and they're trying to somewhat blackmail kill her, or in a sense that either way, like she wanted the fame that Sydney wants, but you want it until you get it, because now people who really think she is a final girl are going to go after her and kill her, and she's like, oh shit. So she would have to somewhat try to survive as a real killer. I don't know. It's taking a risk. That's probably why they never did that, because studios won't take that type of risk. They want a lovable protagonist, not someone who set up a horrible thing. But I find it very interesting. Like, I would like it, but I get why a lot of audiences, and it might not have made a lot of money if they had gone that way. I can understand it might not have been done right, because you would have to do that very right. That is a big risk. But that was originally apparently what they were going to do. They were going to have Jill survive, and then real Ghostface would come after her later. So
that would have been interesting.
Alternate universe, someone got it. Hope it was good. Monty's been summoned.
No. My wife turned to something I was not trying to watch.
Oh no.
There.
It's like maybe that's part of the problem, is that maybe it's too much set on the formula that they follow every time. Maybe they need to do some things to kind of get away from that, and that would maybe shock some people,
Exactly, and I understand that would make us happy, like the horror fans. But will it get the casual viewers to understand and care and bust out a lot of money to see stuff like that? I don't know. They'd probably all tank like crap on it, where we would probably appreciate it. But that's the problem with Scream. Scream is a very mainstream horror franchise. It's one of the highest mainstream. Like, when the first 3 Screams came out, they were the highest grossing of all time slasher films until now. I think this one is might have finally beat it or something like recently. Four didn't make that list, but 5, 6, and 7 have all done pretty well money wise.
Yeah.
So they will cater to a more casual audience, unfortunately. But
unfortunately, yeah, because
for us,
did y'all guys know about John Campa? Whatever, I think some reviewer.
John Campanella.
Yeah, John Campanella. Yeah, did you hear what he said about Scream 7?
Campia.
Oh,
Campia.
sorry.
He because some people ripped this movie apart, and he said this movie is the worst of the franchise, and he compared it to Battlefield Earth.
Oh, that's
no.
I watched Battlefield.
It's one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, because I was
as
watching.
As a bad movie connoisseur. No.
Because I just happened to catch Lee McCoy's Dum Dums, one of his clips that he puts on YouTube, and they were talking about Scream 7, and he mentioned him and how he compared. He didn't like Scream 7, and he compared it to Battlefield Earth. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? Yeah, this movie has.
Waterworld and Battlefield Earth are comparable because they're like these huge, expensive movies that flopped. Like, I like Waterworld. Honestly, to a very ironic reason, I think Battlefield Earth is hilarious. But John Travolta hit his head on the spaceship. It was funny. But they're not good movies.
Yeah,
Battlefield Earth.
I know why Trevor appreciates it, because how dumb the movie is.
Exactly.
When it comes to that.
I think
it
was
was what Scientology is. I'm like, it's that Battlefield Earth movie, right? Like, so.
I think Roy wants to fight.
A slasher that doesn't, have all those insane effects and action sequences. It's a weird comparison. I don't think it's that bad.
Well, the like you say, it's a weird. If you're gonna compare it to something like, it's not like you don't know, like John can't.
Halloween Resurrection.
Right. He's it's not like he's unfamiliar with movies. That's such an odd comparison. Like, keep
I
it in the
know.
horror genre. If you're gonna make a comparison,
Yeah.
keep it in the horror genre. Say it's worse than I don't know. I can't even think of a good example right now.
Exorcist 2.
Exorcist 2. Yeah.
Exorcist
call it-
2.
It'd
Yeah.
be like saying I didn't like the Bad Bunny Super Bowl songs because it was as bad as the Dixie Chicks' last album.
Oh no, it
What?
goes further than
That doesn't
that.
make any sense together.
It's saying that the Bad Bunny, like with that example, it's saying the Bad Bunny Super Bowl
Halftime.
show was
Mm.
worse than my local Mexican restaurant's, arroz con pollo. It's
Yeah.
you can't compare the two.
It's like this.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's like what? It's like the whole thing just came up. Like, what is wrong? I mean, if you didn't like the movie, just say you didn't like the movie. That's it.
Well, if you're gonna say that it was as bad as something, you need
Mhm.
something comparable. Like that's
Keep it the
'cause
same
even,
genre.
like looking at movies, good, bad, and indifferent. You have to have something that people are going to understand the comparison of, especially
Yeah.
because he's a pretty big YouTube reviewer. How many
Right.
people in his
Mhm.
normal audience are going to know what Battlefield Earth is other than, a passing glance at it? It's like comparing everything to Plan 9 from Outer Space. Most of the people
Right.
saying it's the worst movie ever made have not seen it.
Yeah.
I love that
Mhm.
movie. I know it's bad, but I love it.
Seen it.
Right.
I've been
But,
actually.
sorry, not to go off on a tangent, but
There's
like,
work.
those comparisons are like saying, oh, there's a really
Me
crappy
too.
movie. There's a really crappy like YouTube made movie that has like 100 views. It's worse than that. What? Okay, cool, whatever.
I hate when people just like lump all horror together. Like, oh, every horror movie is the same. I'm like, really?
Really?
How is Halloween and The Exorcist the same movie? like they're so different.
Did you actually see these movies? Did you actually see these movies?
Are
you
they
Now,
just-
in
she
the
told me,
room
like
with
almost all
us?
slasher movies are similar. I'm like, fair. But-
Where on the doll did the horror movie hurt you?
right? But I love Plan 9. I mean, I've been compared to Ed Wood
Yeah.
a few times in my life.
I
Not
think
only
it's
'cause I make,
comparable
cheesy
kind
movies, but
to,
I also look good in a dress. So
Mhm. Well,
Ed
you know,
Wood is
you do
awesome.
look like Ed Wood. Dan.
Yeah.
You do look like Ed Wood, Dan.
I take it as a compliment. Maybe I am the reincarnation of Ed Wood. I will be okay with that. He also Ed Wood liked wrestling. I love wrestling as well. So poor Johnson.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
That's
you
a
should do
weird
a remake
comparison.
of Glenn or Glenda.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. You know
I
what?
don't know. Like,
Without all the random like weird kind of porny stuff in the middle, or maybe you do it with all that stuff in the middle. I don't know.
oh, that's the thing. Like, if Ed Wood was
The
alive
porn I never had
today,
a problem with.
would he have?
Oh no, I didn't
transitioned?
either. It was put in there to fill time more than
Exactly.
anything else.
Mhm.
But I wonder.
Yeah.
I really wonder about that. Would
Yeah.
Ed Wood have fully transitioned if he was alive today? 'Cause
It's a good question.
it's he was pushing boundaries for his own time. Like, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
I mean, Glenn and Glenda was in the 40s.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was very
Yeah.
controversial, just wearing women's clothes. But I mean, I don't know what his thoughts were. Maybe if he lived nowadays, maybe he would be trans. Or maybe he just liked wearing a dress. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I'm very gender fluid. I
Well, I
would
mean,
say
you
I'm a
look
very
at-
melted ice cube of gender.
I mean, you look at there's an Instagram drag queen that I follow. They are, by their words, a cross-dresser. They identify as male. They're attracted to
Everybody's journey is different.
female facing
Good.
people. I mean, there's all kinds, and I mean, I know with Ed Wood, his thing was always cross-dressing. It was a thing for Angora and the feeling of those clothes and how they made him feel. So yeah, it's hard to say by modern standards how you judge that. So
Exactly. Like I said,
Mhm.
there's different terms and lot less information, and just the world was a lot more. Like, it's still pretty dangerous for that stuff, but it was even more so.
Yeah.
So
it is about as dangerous as parachuting into the enemy territory wearing, a bra and panties.
right, they're all gonna be looking for soldiers. You guys are idiots.
Wow, we really tangented there.
So
So that poor
Little
pizza,
Pam identifies as
man.
a ghost face. Like I said, I kind of wanted to see what her third movie was going to be. So I do actually hope they bring her back. As far as Scream 7, though, they just really fumbled that landing. Like they couldn't land it. Like it was a bunch of cool flips in the air and then like broke their ankle as they came down. Like, oh shit.
I don't know. Respectfully,
More
I
like
think
their
there was
neck.
a lot of bad decisions along the way that led to it being that. And there was some cool stuff. I'm not gonna lie, but it felt like a lot of there was a good basis. There were great little ideas. You know, the back and forth with Sydney and Tatum, like the way that there were different setups and bits, but they kind of said, "Oh, this will be cool for a second," but then they completely forgot about it and went on to something else.
And I thought, oh, it's cool. Sydney has an escape room, like a panic room, you know? But it's like, okay, now we have to dangerously shimmy through this very thin, reinforced wall. Like, you didn't think that all the way through, did you?
And what is that knife made of?
Yeah, it's like, if you
it's not the knife. It's the wall. What is that wall made of? There, the knife is through it.
I have taken down plaster and lath walls. That is not a knife would not go through that stuff easily.
And like if he could easily just break through that wall to get to them, like with a whatever sledgehammer, then the panic room was useless because if that goes in and out of the panic room, like you didn't finish what you were building there, Sydney. Like, you didn't think that through. Like the big bad wolf can still huff and puff just because your door is reinforced.
Probably spent a lot of money.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like, well, if you're gonna be able to leave said panic room, you should make it a safe way to leave it. But whatever.
Yep.
That's kind of how I feel like on this movie. They gave us a pretty good reinforced front door,
like out the back and behind the wall.
But like the bad plot can sneak in through the back very easily, and it did. Like, oh.
Well, and the bad plot snuck into the attic as well.
Exactly.
Honestly, it reminds me of what was it? It's where there's a whole bunch of people in a building. The Belko experiment. The
almost reminded me of Black Christmas a little.
Yeah, the Belko experiment where they get up to the top floor and the door is made of iron, but everything around it isn't made of iron. So like they're able to go through the walls because they didn't reinforce the walls; they only reinforced the door. Or maybe I'm thinking Office Uprising. Either way, I don't remember.
I think it's the Belko experiment because the door was made. You couldn't bust through the door, but they're able to bust through the walls. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Because I was thinking the same thing. The same thing. It's like, wow, do you think they would have reinforced the walls and not just the door?
Well, that's billionaires thinking for you.
Like, oh, okay.
I was gonna say Office Uprising does a lot of what the Belko experiment does, but in a goofy way, and so I couldn't remember which one was which. Yeah,
Mayhem's a very kind of fun version of it, like a little more fun version of the Belko experiment.
Oh yeah, Office Uprising is like that too. If you liked Rampage, definitely check out Office Uprising because that's really fun.
Nice.
Plug.
Got to plug that in.
So guys, getting to wrap it up a little bit here in closing, I would just like to get your overall thoughts on Scream 7 as a film. Was it just straight up bad, or would you just the ending you thought was bad, or was the whole movie just a fail for you?
I'm not going to sit here and say that it's the worst thing ever because it's not. You know, I don't even know if it's necessarily the best or the worst Scream. It definitely had the weakest antagonist, like the reveal, but I think it had good roots. There was some good stuff there, and understanding that obviously studios play in and all of list of things that can, affect a production outside of, things beyond it. There's so much beyond its control. But the way that it went down, I walked away a little angry at this, and I don't often leave movies angry. And I think more because it had the potential to be something, really cool. And for a variety of reasons, again, some beyond its control, it didn't turn out that way.
Go ahead, Jen.
Oh, for me, I'm pretty much on the same page as Triv. I don't think this is a terrible movie. I think it's a terrible ending. I do. But then the question poses, can a terrible ending tank a pretty good movie up until that point? For me, it's not a rewatchable movie. It's not one but then the Scream franchise isn't a particularly one I go back to anyway, but it did take away some of the shine. I was having, really, believe it or not, guys, I was having a lot of fun up until we got to those really rough spots. But I wouldn't tell people, oh my God, we've all seen way worse than this movie. Let's be real here. We're horror people. We've seen way worse stuff. But for the Scream franchise, it's definitely one it's sad, because for me, it could have been one of my favorites. 1 and 5 are probably my favorites. This could have been another one, and it just kind of dropped. But I won't say that it's horrible. I'm not mad. I'm just fucking disappointed. That's how I feel about this movie. It's
even worse.
I'm just disappointed.
I feel guilt.
For
just
me,
like
it's
parents would say, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
And that makes you feel worse.
That's exactly how I feel.
They yell at you, you can yell back, but when they tell you that, you're just like, oh.
Oh man, damn. Now, for me, I was a bit. I'm like you, Triv and Jen. Yeah, I was disappointed because I expected a little something more. Because just like I said in my review, when you actually have the man who created this franchise and you bring back the actors who built the franchise the way it was, and this is what you come up with. And I don't blame Kevin Williamson, and I kind of don't blame Neve Campbell. They kind of did their part, but then again, I guess you can blame Kevin Williams because he did wrote the script. He part wrote it. But I don't know how much he contributed to that ending, and not built any of the characters for Tatum characters that all her friends are just one-dimensional characters. For me, it's like, it's not the worst horror film I see. For me, I really can't say this is the worst of the franchises because, like I said, we've all seen bad horror films. The Strangers. No, we've seen bad horror films. The Strangers.
I didn't quite hear you, Monty. You're going to have to speak up.
The Strangers.
What?
I like Pray at Night. Pray at Night was good. The rest of them, not so much.
Yeah. But yeah, it's. Yeah, obviously we're going to see what happens in 8 because from what I understand, they greenlit 8 already. But to me, it's like,
If they use this to build off of something, but just don't advertise that something, it could be good. But that's a big if. Though, originally, I was surprised that Neve Campbell came back because they kind of did her a foul last time, and now they've screwed over Melissa. And when I found out Melissa and Jenna weren't going to be in this, I wasn't remotely excited until Matthew Lillard did his little drop of my parents are going to be so mad at me. I'm like, oh, I'm actually okay. It got my excitement up a little bit. And it delivered for a while there. I was having a great time watching it until I wasn't. I don't know. It's probably just kind of somewhere towards the bottom of the franchise, but the franchise doesn't go very far for me. I'm still going to give it plenty of stars or whatever, but because like I said, even when this franchise goes off the rails, it doesn't completely jump the shark and make me go, what the fuck? It just makes me go, huh, that was a weird decision at the end there. I don't like that, but it's like I was eating a good burger, but now I'm regretting it. Like, oh, maybe there was too many jalapenos on that. I'm gonna be shitting fire later. I don't know. It's probably towards the bottom because that ending, they failed it really badly. I had a lot of fun, but then I was just, like Jen says, disappointed. Like, oh, okay. It's like the air got sucked out of the room, and I could tell, like, everybody in the theater that that just kind of got quiet and just you could hear murmurs and coughs when they were cheering and having a great time up until then. Like, like just you didn't really know what to do. You're just like, is this really happening? Is this really what? There's more, right? There's more. Tell me there's no more. Fuck me. So I think the acting was overall really good, except for Anna Camp definitely want to kill you, like, because she's a great actress, but in this, like we all said, like, might as well just have a big sign, I'm the killer. Killing her son didn't throw us off the trail enough. So
no.
And then when we find out why, because like originally I'm like, yeah, that her son's probably Stu's nephew and she's his sister, and that'd be a great motive. No, just read a book. Read a fucking book. I've read a lot of books. I've read Catcher in the Rye, and I still haven't killed anybody.
I know, neither have I. I read Of Mice and Men.
I've read that several times. I actually really like that book for the most part.
Yeah,
but
didn't want to maybe go beat somebody up.
Right? Fuck. So I might really enjoy this as a trilogy if it leads to something good, but otherwise it will be kind of a hard rewatch. That's the thing. Like I watched 5 a lot, actually getting pumped for 6 and then thinking going to 7. But then when I heard about all the stuff that the 7 had to go through a lot of changes, I've hardly rewatched 6 just because of that. Because they're like, oh, they're just gonna go back to Sydney and all that stuff was pointless. So that kind of killed my rewatch value for 6. I'm not even saying 6 is worse than 5. It's just 5 was building to something at least. It felt like it was, and 6 felt like it was originally, but then it didn't. So it depends. If it's built to something and like I'm marathoning, it might be one of my favorites to watch. I'll just be like, this ending's kind of sucks, but don't worry, the next movie's gonna like make it worth it. Like I can tell myself that mentally if I'm going through a marathon.
That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question he put up there. Who's the bigger star, Sydney or Sam?
I would say Sydney, but it sucks because we want to pass a torch.
Sydney, of course. Come on.
Now, are you talking about the characters or the actresses?
Both, but I want to pass the torch. Like you can't just rely.
Both.
It's like WrestleMania keep bringing Hulk Hogan back. Like, no, we need new stars.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't think they're bringing him back anymore.
No, not thankfully that is gone. But
yeah, that ship.
That end, thankfully.
Unless you have zombie Hulk Hogan.
I was more of a Macho Man guy, anyways. But the point is, like, you got to really pass on to the next person if you want the franchise to keep going, and studios like money, so you think they'd want that, but I don't know, they get cold feet so quickly.
I know they don't want to take risk. I mean, that's the problem. They don't, that it means bad enough they don't want to do anything original anymore.
Right. You got to have other main eventers, you got to have other big names. I was actually surprised because The Craft came out right around the same time as Scream, but I mean they filmed Scream first, or they filmed The Craft first. So when Neve Campbell's part wasn't super big in The Craft, I was a little surprised. I'm like, oh, I thought she was exploding, and she did, but like it's just because that movie was filmed first. So, but at one point, Neve Campbell wasn't the big name. Like they brought Drew Barrymore in to like sell those tickets, and I think Melissa Barrera could take it. They just need to write it well. They need to
She was the big name, yeah.
She could easily be that. They need to just work with it and make it happen. Sydney was given the chance and they worked with it and made it happen. The first 3 Scream movies, they make Sydney a big deal. So that Neve Campbell was a big deal. She also did some other stuff outside of horror and became a big deal other ways too, but still, I think they could do that. I think Melissa Barrera could. She has the star power. She just, right now, I think Neve Campbell is a slightly bigger draw, but it's mostly because of the writing and just the non-committal bullshit. Like, just go all in. Jenna Ortega exploded after Scream 5, and it wasn't even because of Scream 5. She just exploded because she did a bunch of stuff. And Wednesday, she's good now. So, like, X was really good for her as well. It came out around the same time, so. But I don't know. It doesn't, like what you said, it doesn't guarantee a movie will do well. Fucking Ant-Man was in the Death of the Unicorn.
But if you think about it, look at the backlash that came after.
We hear you, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, we heard you, but you didn't finish it.
I was just gonna say, look at the backlash when Nev Campbell didn't return for Scream 6. You know, it's like she is a beloved character in the franchise. You have to give her some respect.
Well, that's why I
At
say
least you
she
need
is
to be able
overall
to.
a
If you're gonna
star.
write her off, it has to be with great respect. You know.
Exactly. I'm tired of like killing final girls way later.
Right.
Just bring them back to kill them. I like it when they. Tommy Jarvis never had to come back and die. Like he got to ride off in the sunset, even though like 6 was all his fault. He's the one that resurrected Jason Frankenstein style. It's all his fault. But
Frankie!
he got to go live his life apparently, outside of anything that's not canon, anyways. But I don't need them to keep coming back until they finally die. Like everybody loves Dream Warriors, but Wes Craven's like a New Nightmare. The guy makes a good point when he's driving her around. Nancy is like, they should have never killed you off. Yeah, like, they really should have. So they had to bring her back a creative way of breaking the fourth wall with the whole Nightmare on Elm Street thing. So, well, I just like certain final girls should get to move on like gracefully, not just bring them back until they're dead.
Yeah.
What's the point of caring about him and rooting for him for several movies just to have them killed off in a throwaway ending? Or not even ending, usually a cold open or something. It's like, what was the point? A lot of horror movies will do that. Even if it's just one movie, they'll bring back somebody the next movie just to kill them. Like another reasons why I don't like Halloween 5 as much. They just brought her back to kill her. Okay.
Anticlimactic.
Exactly.
Rachel,
Why did I care so much? I really liked the last movie, and you made me care. And now you're just like, puh.
Is that this is the best you're going to do? You're going to do that? You know, it's like, what are you guys doing?
So I do think Sydney, in a sense, they need to like officially pass the torch, and I think we've already built with Sam. Tatum got a good go in this movie, so we can bring back Kirby as well. Why not? People love Kirby.
Yeah.
Let the three of them carry it. They don't need to kill Gail or Sydney. They can, but I don't want them to necessarily at this point. I kind of thought maybe they should have killed Gail last movie, or instead of Dewey on the 5th movie, because I feel like the 5th movie might have, if you're going to bring back all these characters that we love, you kind of at least have some stakes, kill one of them. But I think at this point we don't need to necessarily bring them back to do major stuff. If they're just partly in it, it's fine. They don't need to be killed if it's just small roles. We have 3, I think, strong women in this franchise between Sam, Tatum, and Kirby. We can just move on. Let them have adventures and where they do the bulk of it. And obviously don't ignore that Sydney and Gail exist. Just, they don't need to do the heavy lifting anymore. I feel like they've been through enough.
Yes. Let them
Mindy
ride
as well,
out.
too, like especially if she's going to be a reporter now. So that might be interesting.
Yeah, let them go out into the sunset without having to kill them.
Exactly. Let the 4 of them do the heavy lifting and let the older characters rest their bones. But in style.
I think the only that's kind of true.
But I don't know. It's kind of low on the list of Scream movies, which overall they're all pretty high. It's just that ending. I don't know officially where I rank it yet, but it will probably be towards the bottom.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be the bottom for me.
And that's fair. Like I said, that ending reveal is the worst reveal of motive. Like even like the characters themselves, it's not that bad. It's just when they explain themselves, it's like, oh, you're making it worse. You're making it worse. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You're making it worse.
Please.
If you're at this point, just be mysterious.
Please, for the love of God.
Like when you talk to the broody kid in the hallway at high school, and then like, oh, they seem pretty interesting, but then they just tell you like, no, shut up, you're ruining it.
Well, you know, you mentioned Friday 13th. What about part 2 when they killed Alice off right at the beginning?
She
Yeah, they did do that.
Yeah, and that sucked, and it makes no sense because Jason went all the way to where she lived, far away from Crystal Lake, just to call her on
That
the
was the same
phone.
thing, just like Halloween 5.
I'm like, yep, it's because you continuity wise, like, wait a minute, how the hell did he find out where she lived?
And how do you know her phone number? And why does he call her? Doesn't he know he's a mute?
It's like,
Oh fuck! I can't say anything. You know the weird thing, and like I want to say late 80s or early 90s, there was a 900 number that you could call. I
Yep.
remember it as a kid, and Jason would talk to you on the phone for a set amount of money, like $6 a minute, probably. But Jason doesn't talk. Like, that makes sense.
now see that worked for Freddy. That worked for Freddy.
Freddie had one too, I think.
Yeah, Freddy had one.
That makes a little
I
more
remember that
sense.
one.
It worked, but yeah, but it's like, wait a minute, how are they going to have a 900 number? Michael and Jason don't talk,
Right? And Adrian King says that whole thing
An
in the
interpreter?
beginning. Adrian King says when Alice got killed in the beginning of that movie, it's like that's just a dream sequence. That's not true as far as I'm concerned. I asked her about that. She's like, not canon as far as I'm concerned. Just a dream sequence. Why would Jason be able to find me in the city? Why would he call me? Why does he take the pot off the fucking oven, like the teapot? And then he just heads back to the camp to kill more people. None of it makes any sense. Friday the 13th, I love it, but it just had the most humble of like, hey, Halloween made money, let's make a slasher.
It's like,
I ended up liking Jason even more than Michael Myers, to be honest. I do actually overall like the Jason character more. It's just, it started off as just, let's copy. let's Mr. Bean over on their homework.
Because unfortunately, what happened was when Friday the 13th came out in 1980, all of a sudden we got this slasher craze come out, and every other week we're getting these new slasher films. And Paramount said, "Wow, we got something good. Let's bring Jason back. Let's kill off the whatchamacallit, and then we'll kill some more teenagers."
Yep. And I think by the time part 4 happens, it's technically Sunday the 15th, because the 2, 3, and 4 all happen together, like back to back, technically.
Yeah.
So, and I think even those movies have like
doesn't quite have the same ring.
No.
And then like it jumps ahead, like so it's like in the future. It's weird. But, all right. Slashers can become a mess so quickly. That's
well, guys. I have to say,
movie makers. Give us just kind of what we want.
Yeah, I actually did enjoy this film.
Good. I enjoyed most of it. I mean, overall, I was happy.
The ending didn't totally ruin it for me. Like it did a lot of people, you know. I felt
that's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna give it a bad rating
that,
of it.
That I really
Some
enjoyed.
people will see this movie and be like 1 star.
Should completely destroy a movie just because the ending.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will do that.
The reveal is the worst, without doubt.
The motives are so weak.
What? I'm still just what?
Oh God! Yeah.
I don't even want to call it a motive. I read a book. And the motive doesn't make sense even from that. Like, she didn't
I decided to become a killer
across
because
the
I
movie.
read a book.
So this is how you get book banners.
did she read the book or she just look at the cover and say neat and put it on her shelf and tell
Both.
people, oh yeah, this is the book I read. I'm buying it. Like,
Wait a minute, guys.
Just look at the cover.
Remember that animated cat that used to be on ABC that would talk about, the books, like it's in a book, read a book. Maybe this woman just really, was one of those kids and this is what happens. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Right?
No
What am I
one
reading?
probably remembers what I mean, but there was a cartoon cat.
Oh, speaking of Michael Myers, there he goes.
Oh,
What's up, man?
What up?
woohoo.
There you be, 101. But yeah, it didn't ruin it for me. A lot of people will like, don't tell me, worst movie ever.
Well, after
And I'm
this,
like, have you
after
seen
this
movies?
one, guys, are you excited to see?
I'm still hopeful, maybe naively hopeful that 8's gonna be good. Like, 8 will make this make sense. I hate to say it. I know I'm putting a lot into hoping. But whatever. I mean, give me like I said, Roger Jackson
nice
does
that
the
you can
voice of
still hope.
Ghostface.
Like,
and
I'm
he
glad
stabs a
you
few
can still hope.
I know.
I'll be fairly happy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just like I told Steve, just like I told you to tell Stevens. I hope for your sake that it happens. So just like for Steve, I hope it does happen. Yeah,
Me
then
too.
everyone would be so happy.
But I said, just don't advertise Matthew Lillard. That way you can surprise us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you pretended to straight up forget our birthday on our birthday just to give us that surprise party. The next day, all is forgiven. You did it to fake us out.
Again, what the fuck? I always
too
root for
obvious
things
on
to
our
be
birthday.
good. Like, I'm hoping for it to be good, but I
That's a
think
pretty big fake out.
but for me, I think what I want is I'm going to like watch the movie whole because I'll get both in 6 and in 7. I got super excited. I'm like, oh, I'm finally vibing with these movies. And both times the ending came and just kicked Jen in her balls, her metaphorical balls. And I'm like, ow, ow, I'm in so much pain. Why'd you do this to me, movie? So like when 8 comes, I'm going to try not to get all excited and like until the end. Until we get to the end, I'm going to hold judgment. Because I get real excited because I think, oh, there's no way they can ruin it. And then they do. But I always root for it. Like, I think all horror fans, we want it to succeed. We don't want it to be bad.
Well, I think
As
you
much
do have
as
to
I'm
come in
not a
with
huge fan of
that
3, his
mentality.
motives made sense. I'm sorry, what was that, True?
You gotta
Oh, I was just
think.
going to say you have to
they
come in with that mentality.
Exactly.
Do you think some horror fans don't now? Because we all know the negative videos do better than the positive ones. Like, do you think some of us have gotten really some horror fans have gotten jaded and like we love to hate the movies more than love the movies?
I really
don't
haven't
know.
seen that. Yeah, I really haven't seen that as far as the horror films are concerned, other than the typical stuff I've seen on YouTube with some of these rifters, whether it's female. I know some of the nitwits on YouTube, but are praising. Obviously, they criticize The Bride because it's a female-led film. It's by a female director, so obviously they're going to. Yeah, so they're going to spill their hate on those films, but they're not being not being disingenuous. But actual real horror fans, no, I really haven't seen that common to the horror genre. I mean, that people have always, most people praise Sinners, most people praise Weapons, most horror fans praise those two films. Most people obviously had they like Primate. They didn't like, most of the horror fans didn't like The Strangers Chapter 3 or any of the Strangers films. So yeah, that really hasn't hit as far as the horror films are concerned when it comes to horror fans or even just casual horror fans. Just the typical nitwits that I'm seeing online that spew their stupidity when it comes to certain films that they don't like because of it's a African American or it's a female-led film or it's a gay guy or it's a trans person.
Yeah.
I mean, those feelings can go both ways. They've got like I'm not going to say the toxic positive ones, but like the ones that'll like you say, they'll go the other way and say, well, you just don't like this movie because it's this or it's that.
You
Like,
didn't
so it
get
goes, that's like, you can have legit criticisms or praise for movies as long as it's legit. If it doesn't ring your bell, that's fine. But, be honest about it.
I think there are some definitely
Yeah, that's a
YouTubers,
good
not in so much the horror community, but just in YouTube in general, that will definitely exaggerate on their thumbnails, like because they know it's clickbaity. like they'll do that. It doesn't mean they like even hate it. And even their review, you'll watch it and they'll be like, it was actually not that bad. But their review, like, oh, like just the thumbnail, they'll go like freak out on it because people will click it. And I get it. I haven't really ever done so much that myself, but I get it, and I've been tempted.
I think
I
we all
know,
have.
not intentionally, because Gory loves to love horror movies, but she's been somewhat jaded since we've started Horror Addicts, and she's spinning off on her own channel. Like, she's a little more brutal than she ever used to be, that's for sure. Just, I don't know, because it became a thing that just maybe because when people learn to criticize it, they like learn to pick on things, but I don't know. She's been a little more brutal the last few years. So I would say there's something that's jaded her about it, but not because she wants to be. She loves it. She actually feels really sad when like everybody loved weapons, but I really don't get it. And I don't want to not get it. I want to love weapons like everybody else. But
I didn't either. I didn't either. You're not alone. I didn't think it was a bad movie, but I thought it was just kind of. I didn't see what the hype was all about. I thought it was okay to see once. Wasn't in love with it.
I was disappointed because I really did like Barbarian a whole lot, and I was like, it's good, but it is a step down. Like it's not as good. That was amazing.
I thought so too.
All right.
Like I said, it's for me, it's like, I respect everyone's opinion because there's going to be some movies that you guys are not going to like that I love. And it's the same thing. It's going to be movies that you love that I don't like. Like most people love Better Watch Out. I don't like that film. Just for some reason, I just get for me, that kid was a stinking brat.
Oh, he's horrible. I just kind of like that they kind of turned Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell into a horror movie. That's how I felt about it. Like, what Macaulay Culkin's character was like a little sociopath. Like, I kind of like it, but
I mean, it kind of is really.
If you tell me you love horror movies, then we're friends. Like, we don't have to like the same flavor. There's so many flavors out there. I respect your guys' opinion. There's people though, like I said, they'll be like, I didn't really like that ending, or they didn't do the one thing I really wanted to do. So worst movie ever, 0.5-star rating because I can't give it lower. I'm like, that's dramatic, and I can't respect that type of
true
review.
Dramatic,
Even movies I really dislike. My least favorite movie on my letterbox for 2025 is not the lowest on the thing. It just might have been the one I disliked the most, but I have to admit they did a lot of good in other places, so I had to bump it up on the rating a little bit. And sometimes I will love a movie, even if I gave it like a 1.5 star. I'm like, this is garbage, but it's so much fun. It's just how it is.
That's because it's like some of the screeners I get now, and I say, well, at least they did a good attempt on it. I said if they're a little bit more work, they actually will make a decent horror film. So I'll give them some credit, for some of the good stuff that they have. But obviously some of the films that I get screeners for, they're not that good. It's like Killer Whale that I saw almost about a month ago. Nice idea. Unfortunately, too much like The Shallows, except we have a killer whale instead of a shark, and then you have these two girls. Nice idea. Unfortunately, decided to throw something in the film late in the film when these two girls are stranded on top of an atoll, and decided to throw something in it. I guess for dramatic effect, and it doesn't fit the film at all. But I still like the film. It was a nice film. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I mean, put it this way: another problem was some of the worst green screen that you ever saw. You can actually tell that the girls are not in the middle of the ocean because you can see that the green screen effect and how if you don't do a good job, you can just tell right away.
shark creature features are bizarre. That there's so many low budget versions of those. Like, why, when you have no money, why is that you're like, I'll make a shark movie or killer whale? And that's so hard. Steven Spielberg had the hardest time doing that with a studio budget. He's like the best director of all time, basically, and he could barely do it with that. Like, why is that? Like, I get when you're like, I have no money, I can make a slasher movie, I could make a spooky movie that's like kind of like, ooh, I don't like, you don't know what's going on. I can make even a zombie movie pretty good with no money, because zombie effects aren't the hardest thing to do. Exactly, found footages, those make a lot of sense. Shark movies, there's so many of them on their low budget, and I'm like, why does that? Makes no sense. Like, you're gonna show this bad CGI shark that's like a screensaver, and it's nowhere near the people who are like on land, and it's very able to tell that, but like you expect me to like enjoy this? Like,
but who's watching these movies? I don't know.
Corona shark, crack, or it was cocaine shark, and that one was
cocaine shark.
You could feel cocaine shark.
They even had one that said bad CGI shark.
Yeah, at least that one is like leaning into how what I'm talking about. So at least I'll give that one a point.
Did you see that one, Trip?
I did, yeah. It was actually on it.
Yeah.
But gosh, it was like gonna be squid shark. You could tell because it's like a shark that's half squid, but they just gave it a completely different cold open that had nothing to do with the rest of the movie, where a bunch of cocaine went into a shark tank just because they wanted to like focus on Cocaine Bear. That's all. I just wanted to like get some money off of that. It's like, that makes me hate you. Like, I loved all these straight to VHS horror movies back in the day, because at least I felt they were creative, and there were people who were trying to make movies, and I love those 80s straight to VHS, even early 90s. But around 2000s, when everything was straight to DVD, it really went downhill. Like,
Snakes
on a train. Okay. You're just trying to make money off of other people's ideas, and that's really when that exploded. And I feel like there's still people out there doing that.
I know, because I was used to tell my mother when I would get the videos from Earl's Video Store here in South Philly, and I bring them home and I say, wow, these are pretty creative, and despite the fact they're kind of low budget, but they're very creative. Now they're not. Yeah, no, but now it's like they're not even trying. It's like, this is the best y'all guys do. It's like, come on now.
Like my friend Ronnie,
I think sometimes low budgets can be really good. Like, you know, they force the director to have to come up with ideas on their feet, and sometimes what can look as a hindrance can actually really be a blessing in disguise, or at least it used to be. But maybe it still is. It just depends on the movie.
It's how the director, like the motive behind them. If there's passion, if there's a want to make something be outside of the box, making the best of not great situations. It's the same now as it was 20, 40, 60, 100 years ago. So
yeah.
I mean, I love a lot of low budget movies that just be creative. Give me something that made me think that there was passion into this project, instead of just. My friend Ronnie's in a movie called Zombie 8. Like, there's a part where he's walking through a field and he looks back at the director, and the director must be going like this, because then he's like, all right, and he keeps walking. The director didn't cut it out. Even cut it out.
Part 2 and 3 aren't even official.
Exactly, none of them. Like, they were all just kind of stealing ideas and made in Italy, or whatever. But it's just like, I don't know. People are still making that go.
The birds, like the one with the birds or whatever.
Birdemic, yeah.
Birdemic, yeah. And Birdemic was kind of fun. So he like made Birdemic too. It's like, it's old now. The best movies that are funny like that are the ones that aren't self-aware. Like they like Troll 2. The guy like, why are they laughing? This is a scary movie. Because that's why, man. You have no idea, and that's why it's funny.
They don't know that it's bad.
I love the girl in the beginning of Troll 2 who's working out, wearing a Garfield shirt, and she's just pumping iron and listening to really bad music. And she's like, I don't think a teenage girl would act like this. And the director's like, that's exactly what American teenage girl would do. I'm a director, not you. Shut up. Like, he made all of them buy their own shirts at the local little gift stores in the fucking movie, like the little shops that they're featured in the movie. That's why they're like wearing these just random yellow shirt and stuff like that because they had to go buy their own wardrobe. They were told they were being reimbursed, but they were never reimbursed. But this funny stuff like that makes me find a bad movie charming, except for just like I said, it's just a cash in. There's nothing charming about that. Yeah. Okay.
No.
And it's all subjective too. Like
All right,
what
guys,
one
I think we should
would
probably
work for one person,
wrap it
not
up
one
for the night.
necessarily with another.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate having me here.
Yeah, nice to have you on, Dan.
Don't forget the Oscars this Friday.
Yeah,
Sean,
great to have you
next
on.
year's Oscars.
Yep. The scares.
Next year, Sean, I need you signed up. I got
Yes.
3 right here. Next year, I need you to present.
Yeah.
Sean would be
Right.
great.
He would be awesome.
So, Danny, what do you got going on?
That's
What do you
pretty
got
much what I
going
got going
on your
on.
channel?
Friday, tune in, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. We have the Oscars. Different presenters for each award. It's over 35 people collabing together. It's always a huge pain in my ass, and I'm surprised I'm not as gray as I am or as bald as I am. But it's always totally worth it. You guys always do such a good job, and it's not just so celebrating the best of horror, which that is a big part of it, and that's the reason why we do it. But it's also just a horror community like show and tell. Like, we all worked on these projects, and I can't wait to see what everybody else made too. And I love it when you guys see each other's videos. Like, it's just great. I love doing that. We got Rhonda freaking Shear coming in. She's
That's cool.
doing Best Actress.
Nice.
We got CZ's World. He's coming back. Dr. Wolfie as always, and just too many to list. But
Woohoo.
3 of them are right here. Amazing. And make sure you guys check it out. Please do. That's all I got going on about that. Otherwise, I'm going to take a goth girl princess bath in my goth bathroom, and it'll be great.
What do you
So-
have going on your channel?
Who,
Was
me
it
or
I'm sorry.
Or which?
Yeah. Which
which one, Sean? Do you say me or Jen?
Jen.
Oh, sorry. My internet's terrible. Apologies, guys. What I'm working on right now is I've got a review for The Bride is what I'm working on right now, where hopefully I'll get to film it soon. And I've got some thoughts on that movie. I have some thoughts.
No.
I have some. It's a very, very, very messy movie. Not horrible, but messy. So I've got some thoughts, and I think Monty might have some thoughts on that movie too.
Yeah, thoughts on that movie too.
I'm surprised. I'm sure that it's all sunshine and rainbows.
You haven't seen it yet, Trevor? Are
I
you,
haven't.
are you planning on to it?
I'm
very
I'm
curious. to
super
hear.
behind. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll pop out a short one way or the
great,
other
too.
on it. So
Mhm.
That's it. That's I just.
yeah, Winter Beast is
How
a lot
about
of
you,
fun. It's-
Monty G?
Well, obviously, I have my latest recording, and it's up right now for Women in Horror. Janine from Gray Horror, she's up on the channel right now, so you can check that out. And hopefully, I should have my review of The Bride up maybe by tomorrow or Thursday, because I have a lot to say about that film.
Yeah.
I'm still
Funny, I
trying
did
to
too.
work out. I'm working out the outline on it because it's like okay, yeah. So
Start at the
Yeah.
beginning.
That's harder said than done, Trev.
that's
Trust me.
yeah. That starting at the beginning is the problem.
Fair.
not to give away too much. It's how the movie starts. That's the first problem.
Probably gonna go see it this weekend.
Is it a case of you wouldn't believe where I found myself? I found myself dead, resurrected, and with a weird blotchy makeup job. Boy, what a Tuesday!
have to see the film. I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, fine.
I might probably see it this weekend after the Oscars. Then I'll go see some movie this weekend. It might be that. So far, it's the highest on the list.
It's a know your own taste. I think there is an audience for that movie, but it's definitely know your own taste. And I think more people are not going to vibe with it than the people. I think there are going to be people that'll really vibe with it, but I think it's going to be more than the minority.
Yeah,
I think more people probably wait for it to come on streaming though.
Yeah, I would, because it's a long movie, and it feels longer than it is.
Might need snacks.
Yeah, definitely. Or a fast forward button.
How about you, Trivial Theater?
Yeah, I've been a little slow on the uptake when it comes to uploading. Stuff's been kind of busy real life, but I am working on a collab with Jen, which is absolutely fantastic, and you should totally keep an eye out for that. I am going to be participating in the Oscars along with the other excellent people on this here show. Looking forward to seeing all the work that people have done on that. That's kind of where I'm at. It's a lot of like short riffs coming out. But April, I'll get back to more normal reviews. So keep an eye out for all that good stuff. It's also my anniversary month, so we have to figure out something cool for that. Thank you. So yeah. The theater hasn't fallen down yet, which is saying something. So it's been blown up.
You mean I didn't ruin it, Trip?
Of course you didn't. You were foundational, my friend.
Is your partner as animated as you are?
Well, I've got a pineapple that like helps me riff sometimes. He's a murderous killer pineapple. He's definitely a better killer than what was in Scream 7.
Oh, yeah, not hard to do.
He would be.
He doesn't rub you the wrong way, does he, Trip?
No, absolutely not. In a room with him and the killers from Scream 7, he would be the least likely one you would expect to be the killer because they're all so damn obvious.
And I can't want to kill you.
Exactly. Unless you're allergic to pineapple, then maybe. But that's a whole other story.
Thankfully, I am not. I like to drink rum out of pineapples.
Yeah, hey, it's a good way to do it. West Coast, baby. Woohoo.
You.
How about you, Sean? What's coming up on the Horror Corner?
Well, I do have the next Monday. I have the Morbid Hour coming out, and we're going to be talking all about exploitation movies. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So much ground to cover, right? You got exploitation horror, you got women in prison stuff, you got blaxploitation, all that stuff.
Blackula.
Oh, not Blackula, Blackenstein.
Blackula meets Blackenstein.
Because if anything, because no one really knows about Blackenstein, so you got to talk about Blackenstein.
Oh, Blackenstein's so much fun. So is Abby.
Blackenstein.
Yeah, Abby's fun, but Blackenstein is better.
Yes. Because Blackula is actually just a really good movie. Blackenstein it's funny.
It's funny because no one knows about it. Everyone knows about Blackula and Abby, but no one knows about Blackenstein. Because every time when I mention it, people are just shocked. And I was like, yeah, they actually made a horror film called Blackenstein.
And that's the thing too. I think a lot of people know about Blackula, but a lot of people haven't seen it because they'll expect it to just be exploitation kind of trash and like slop in that sense.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's actually a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
But if you want that, Blackenstein has got you covered.
Blackula Scream kind of plays more into that kind of campy nature than
Scream Blackula Scream plays more into the campy side of the blaxploitation horror films or the blaxploitation films in general. Yeah, but if you definitely want it, it's Blackenstein, and I think I can't remember, was it Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde? I can't remember which one it was, but I know they did a one for Frankenstein.
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and his Velvet loves that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll check that one out.
Sister Hyde, because Velvet loves that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And Sean, don't forget about the necrophilia movies. I'll be very mad at you if you don't mention all the necrophilias. I can send you a list.
I'm sure he'll be absolutely thrilled.
Yes.
I could be a consultant if you need any help, Sean. That's all I'm saying. There's aftermath.
Yeah.
There's not just
Our expert
necromancy
on
and intrigue,
necrophilia.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys having me. I mean,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
my schedule's pretty open. So
All
if you
right,
guys have
guys. Just
anything
want
better-
to say thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love fun.
Next, we gotta have both you and Gory on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
She's just,
And
she's on the other side
everyone,
of
of
the wall.
course, check out the Scares coming up.
Please do. You'll see a lot of talented people.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, as
Always
always,
number
the
one.
Horror Miser Monty G, Trivial
Woo-hoo.
Theater,
Woohoo!
Jen's Reviews from the Grave. Great stream tonight. I'm sorry my internet sucks as it always does, but you know, I try.
This isn't like so much for the people watching because it's not going to affect them, but I want to do a shout out that Monty's coming to Seattle this May and he's going to go to Crypticon with me and Gory. He's going to be a panelist with us. So we can do this live in front of a live audience.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Yes.
So if
I
you're out in the
was
Pacific
going
Northwest,
to
Crypticon.
going to save.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was going to kind of save that, but yeah.
Sorry.
My trip is. That's okay. It's no problem. Yeah, my trip is booked. Yeah, I let Dan know this. Was it Monday? I forgot it was Monday, but yeah, everything is booked. Flights ready to go. Just waiting for more information as far as what panel I'm going to be on. Yeah, but definitely I'm going to try my best to document everything once I get there.
Oh yeah.
I told them I wanted to be on the Scream and Resident Evil panels with you. So hopefully they'll put us on the same ones, but we'll see.
Okay. hmm Yeah, but it is going to be
Amazing.
fun.
That's
Going
awesome.
to be fun. Yeah, going to be fun seeing one of my favorite horror couples live and in person for a whole weekend.
Yes, so look at our social media. There'll be pictures and videos maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Very cool.
Awesome, guys. Well, have a great night, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Everyone that joined us in the chat tonight, and you know, all our guests, Danny and Monty G and Triv and Jen and everybody. It was a lot of fun, and we'll catch you next time. So tune in and stay scared.
Ace.
Penis.
Cut. The corpse. in
Scary
there.
penis. I need to make it more horror. Scary penis. Booga
Scary
booga.
mangled penis.
Oh, we're still live.
Oh yeah, you forgot to turn it
Uh-oh.
off. It's still live.
God.
That's even better.
Well, I think if we do a Midwest goodbye, slap our knees, say "well, I suppose," and then like each one of us leave, I think we'll be okay. So I would imagine that would kind of call it.
Oh boy.
Now.